He's fine. He's a bit bigger, bit beefier. Not exactly what I'm looking for. It's awesome. It's a Lars Mlekusch. I want to talk to you guys today about mouthpieces, and specifically the refacing that I'm going to have done on my mouthpiece. So this is a Lars Mlekusch mouthpiece. This is the LM1 specifically. The reason I'm going to get this mouthpiece refaced is that lately I played the living heck out of this mouthpiece for the last 2-3 years, and I just recently started noticing that all my reeds are playing soft to one side of the reed. So if you guys didn't know this, I'm going to take my Rico 2.5 here. If you blow at an angle, kind of, you can kind of test the different sides of a reed. And so what I was finding consistently is that this side of the reed was always soft. So my reeds were always shifted to one side. And that's the way, by the way, that's the way you kind of fix the problem. If you test the reed and it's soft on one side and you don't feel like switching, you can just kind of tilt it towards that side, and then a thicker part of it will vibrate. But when all your reeds start doing that, it's time to take a look at this guy. And so if you guys take a close look, you can kind of see the table is textured and it's got all kinds of crud on it. Yeah, there's a lot going on there. It ain't pretty. So hopefully, if nothing else, it's going to get cleaned up. And then if we can get this thing buffed and the table perfectly flat and all the rails and edges to be perfectly flat and leveled, then hopefully this mouthpiece will just be more of what it is and not change drastically and be more reed friendly. The mouthpiece refacer that I'm trusting with my LM1, my Butte, is Ramón Wodkowski, and he's worked on mouthpieces for Tim McAllister, Dr. Eddie Goodman, Nathan Knabb, who else? Masahito Sugihara at Sam Houston. And they all say he does really good work, so I'm really looking forward to it. It was a long journey for me to get to this mouthpiece, and they don't make this anymore. So I thought it would be kind of a waste to kind of just let it rot on my shelf. If I can give it to somebody and pay, hopefully he hasn't billed me, but hopefully pay the amount that it costs to buy like a brand new mouthpieces. Mouthpieces are getting like upwards of $300 now. So if I can pay somebody to rejuvenate a mouthpiece I already like for pennies on the dollar, or just a fraction of what I would pay for a new mouthpiece, then I'm all for it. I'm going to go for it. But yeah, this mouthpiece is cool. It has there's no way you guys are going to see that. It has a square chamber, really neutral sound, very like plain. I find I get a little frustrated with manufacturers when they try to change the chamber too much or try to do too much. Square chamber has worked forever for a lot of people, and I don't see a need to change. And if it gives me a kind of neutral sound, then I will provide the color. I will provide more neutrality if I need it. But yeah, I like to do the work. And so I sympathize with jazz musicians who have all strongly advised against me getting a pop mouthpiece with a small chamber. They say, like, you need to make that sound. Don't let the mouthpiece do the work. So it's a similar case with this. This is like a very, I'm not going to say vanilla because it makes a nice sound, but it's a very neutral color. It's like you do the work. You make it into what you want it to be. So they don't make them anymore, so check it out. If you see one on eBay, go ahead and snatch it up, because I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. It's a very nice mouthpiece. So we will drop that off at Ramon's house and then get it back in a couple of weeks and kind of see if what I suspected was the problem was the case, and if my mouthpiece plays any better. I don't think I need to do any play testing now. You guys have heard that mouthpiece for pretty much everything in my Altissimo series, so we'll go off of that and then hear what this bad boy sounds like after it's had some work. Okay, we are back, and I'm back from a wonderful vacation. Got a little color to my skin, feeling really relaxed, a little under practiced, but I'm here regardless to review the refacing to my mouthpiece. I don't know what I'm showing you guys, but I'm going to show you something. My LM Lars Mlekusch mouthpiece went into the shop to get restored by none other than Ramón Wodkowski, and he did a number on it. Said it took him a while because there was a lot of calcium. You guys saw all that grit and grossness on there, and here's the finished result. As you can see, perfectly smooth and gorgeous, and I cannot wait to play it. So I'm a little out of shape. So this is not fair to Ramón. This is not fair to me. This is not necessarily fair to you, but I'm going to give you my initial impressions of the mouthpiece after having a bit of a layoff and see if I can make some productive sounds and let you know what I think about the refacing. Got to moisten a couple of brushes. Gentle, gentle. Just a little bit of material. And then one up for blend. Just one up for blend. Perfect. So I guess I could talk about other parts of the service and like how it went. So I kind of gave him free rein. I said, I just need this thing restored. I like this mouthpiece. I just want it to be more of what it is, and no guidance after that. So pretty much, you know, I can't be really disappointed with however he took it, because we didn't do kind of a one-on-one collaboration. From players that I've spoken with who've had their mouthpieces refaced by Ramón, they tend to have sessions where he kind of like does little adjustments and then they play it and then they ask for this and there's a back and forth. We had no such thing. So we're going to see how that turned out. Oh my gosh, I am nervous. Well, besides my stuck G sharp key. Yeah, okay, so this is tight. This is really good. Here's what it does for me. I think it sounds great. I think it sounds fine. It is the mouthpiece that I left with him, but now I know it has that artisanal touch. I know the railings, the facing, everything's perfect. I know that it won't be less reed picky because of that, and I know that just gives me comfort as a player and confidence, because that's what I'm looking for. Is like, if I'm going to step in front of a camera and play for you guys, I don't want to be zhuzhing the reed and like, I don't know, worried that my mouthpiece is going to let me down. If there's anything that I'm a gearhead about, it is mouthpieces, because that is your sound, man. You can have a junk horn pretty much, with exceptions. Don't get that Amazon 200 number. The mouthpiece is not something you can skimp on. So again, I mail ordered this from Austria. It's like a custom artisanal mouthpiece. I don't think they make them anymore. It's called something weird, a Lemuria, which is strange. Lars Mlekusch, Lemuria. Like, is there any connection there? I talked to Lars about it. He said he had no input on the making of the new mouthpiece. So who knows? That guy's kind of on his own thing. So these are, they don't make these anymore. And I wanted it restored and like restored to perfection. I've played one scale on it. I can't wait to get into it some more. I'm happy so far. It just feels like my mouthpiece. The cost of the refacing, less than an AL3, which was honestly what I was going to do. I have a practice mouthpiece, which is an LM2. This guy is like, he's fine. He's a bit bigger, bit beefier, and not exactly what I'm looking for. It's awesome. It's a Lars Mlekusch. I'm playing a Lars Mlekusch. It's awesome, but this mouthpiece is not as good as the LM1 to me. I know other people will disagree, but anyway. So this, I've been practicing on this when I have been practicing. More on that later, but this is my go-to, and I'm happy to have it back, and it can do all the things that it once did. before it was when it was all janky, and now it's like perfect. And hopefully I can find some good reeds and do it justice. And suffice to say, I'm gonna do more work on my reeds and play this more often, and everything will work out. I'm very happy with it. All in all, everything went to plan. I wanted to spend less than I would on a new mouthpiece, and I accomplished that. What else is there to say? Go get your mouthpiece refaced. If you're feeling self-conscious or you're holding on to your darling and you're like, oh, I don't really want to spend $300 on a new mouthpiece, he's very busy, but contact Ramón. Highly recommended.